Hello everyone, and welcome back to the culmination of the 2024 Heart of the Chains, presented by Van Man Discs and driven by Innova Champion Discs. As always, I'm Christian. I'm here in the studio with Evan.
How you doing, folks?
All right, we seen the front half over on the Rotary side of things just a little bit ago, and we are going to wrap up this round. This is mainly going to be up on top of the hill at the park. We explored the bottom side a little bit ago, so we're going to take a look at what's setting up on top of the hill.
I love the different shots that come with the top side of this course.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot more of those park style holes. A little shorter, a lot of the length sets in the bottom, all the wood sets in the bottom. So, just like before, we have Mr. Johnny Sias and Ryan Shumate. Always wonderful having the lefty.
This is Ian. You guys got to see him in that first round. Seems like he might be a forehand specialist.
He's actually pretty well balanced, but he does have that nice power forehand. And then Sam Cruz going to be rounding out our lead card. All right, let's pick right up where we left off. And we're going to hop right over into hole 18.
Hole 18 has this consistent right side slope angle, and the wind is always coming from your back on the left. So you get this left to right tailwind that tries to push your disc into that OB down at the road.
Yeah. Anything coming down on edge will bring that, really brings that danger into play. Let's see, Johnny. I think this is his strike, and there's that left to right drift there, just like you said.
No. 4.
And there's the disc on edge.
All it takes is one little bounce up onto that edge, and it just rolls straight over that road.
Yeah. Unfortunately, once it starts going down that hill, oftentimes you're not gonna see it tail off or curl or anything like that. It's going. Looks to be that same Halo Destroyer. Coming up a little short. Just a little bit short.
Oh,
Nothing.
and look at that edge roll.
Yeah, taking him a little closer to the pin there. This is another one of the holes that unfortunately we've lost a couple really nice trees on, but just kind of opened everything up a little bit more. I'm not sure what that was that he threw. Look, it was slower. It was at most a fairway, but it was really overstable.
That's kind of the approach I go for on this hole. Just something that's going to hold a hyzer line but not land too much on edge. I'm so afraid of being in Johnny's position right here and having to throw up and risk another rollaway down the hill hitting the cage.
Yeah, any little bounce or anything, pop that thing up on edge. And this is a nervy putt too. You're setting out in C2, and if you land wrong, you're gonna take off rolling. Did we not get any of our lead card in the circle? Okay. All right, Sam's in the circle here. And a good conversion. Like that. Good birdie there. So it looks like we're going to average par for the card. And kind of surprising. This is one of the more open, straightforward holes that we have up here. It's a little over 450. But it's right there in front of you.
I feel like it's easy to misjudge the distance on this one and fall into that 40-foot short gap there.
That's true.
However, hole 19 is, what would you say the drop is on hole 19? Probably 75, 80 feet?
At
Or is
least
it that
60,
much?
70 feet. It drops away a lot, and it's perched up on this shelf, so if you overdo it a little bit, you're going to keep sailing down, and that disc is way OB. Oh, that looks nice and wide.
So that's the traditional shot here, is to throw something overstable out to that right side and just let it cut back into the hole.
I think that's that same... No, I think that's a little slower than that destroyer, but he pinned it. Dude, that looks on top of it. Looks to be zone here from Ian.
And again, this is one of those holes that if you have really good putter control, you can throw a putter. You can throw a driver and keep it up high and then cut straight down at the hole. But it is a tricky shot from the top.
It's really dealer's choice here. I think that's that eagle of Johnny's. That white eagle.
Oh yeah.
He's going to get up there. Probably circle's edge, maybe a little outside.
Yeah. If I can, yeah. But I'm telling you, man.
And that was a great putt.
Yeah, that was good. Bringing it in nice, low right side. It wasn't coming out.
This is another one of those holes that you can catch the cage and roll just enough to get to that edge of the hill and keep on going.
Ooh, almost kind of seen it there on the miss by Ryan, but luckily checks up.
Nice putt.
Johnny's known for.
Almost that same spot, that bottom right corner.
Yep. Yeah, those discs hit that sweet spot. They rarely come out. These guys gonna tap in here. Yeah. Sam pinned that one. That was a lot closer than what it looked like from up on top.
The view from the camera here doesn't really do the tightness of this hole justice. It appears like you have way more room between those trees to get up to this basket. And it is a treacherous slope from this basket all the way down to the left.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll see it here that the forehand kind of begs for the shot there through that gap, but you're gonna come in on edge against the hillside, which leads to a lot of rollaways, and it looks like Sam just wrenched over on whatever he was forehanding there. Just sent it way long left. There's a sneaky backhand line. That kind of diagonal tree right in the middle of that gap, you can float something up above it, and it'll typically nestle up close to the basket, but it's tricky to hit. Forehand is very much the play here.
Shit. That was a good throw. Good putt. That was a good throw.
No sense. That'll putt. That'll putt.
There's that high line.
Yep. And just let it draw right back on it. It's almost like he drew that shot up.
I couldn't think of the same.
It's like he designed that hole.
Right?
That one dark tree there on the backhand is so tricky where it's really close to your line.
Good stop. Good stop.
Especially from the short pin, the short tees.
Yeah, we're really close to both a highway and a river, so I don't know if that was a barge or...
Sounds like a train to me.
Oh yeah, there's train tracks at the bottom as well. Left it just a little high, didn't commit to the getting it flat. Okay, it stopped over against that tree.
I was gonna say
It should have a putt.
I went to the Nike rookie.
And this gives you an idea of the elevation where that drops off to the left of the basket.
Even a tricky layup. A lot of those roots just want to pop you up on edge, and yeah, way long left. There is a pin position back there, But, yeah, he didn't leave himself great shot here.
Ooh,
God, that can
that
get
pin
scary.
almost bounced him back to the
Yeah,
roll away
that
down the
can
hill.
get scary.
Rotary definitely has several of those baskets that if you cage it or you hit the band, you're more than likely going to roll away a significant
yeah.
distance. Left side chains on that one.
Oh, stop. Okay. It sat down there. Johnny's backhand landed him, and that's just routine. And the only birdie on the field. Now that we've seen the rest of our card, taking their pars, it averaged a 2.85, 2.9, somewhere around there. It was just on the preview, but it averaged just under par, and that was because the entire field parred it except for Johnny. So that is a stroke on the field.
And you can definitely see the elevation again. This hole too. It says 325 feet, but I've yet to see anybody that really throws anything other than like an
Putter,
overstable putter,
mid-range,
maybe zone, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But it definitely plays like it's about 200 feet.
Yeah, definitely. And this pin position, this kind of like tuck straight a little to the left, is tricky. There is a forehand flex play that you can get something over the road moving left, but overstable to bring it back, and there's a pretty wide gap there going down the hill. Other than that, it's just try to pick a gap in these trees. And from the long tee, this is tough. This is a really, really demanding tee shot.
And then from this long tee, you can see kind of right in front of the short tee there's about a 15-foot gap, but from the long tee, it's 100 feet in front of you.
Yeah, it's challenging, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I have no idea.
A little bit of pinball going down the hill there.
Yeah, at 100% a early release, but somehow ended up progressing down the hill. I think he stopped just short of that road, so he is still safe. Looks like Envy here from Ian. A sneaky gap. And he's ending up in that gap that the forehanders like to hit.
And I really feel like if you get past the road, there's a row of guardian trees that are right along the road. If you get past those 30 to 40 feet in, you have a really good chance to par this hole.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Par ultimately is going to be one of the most common scores you're
To
gonna
birdie
get.
this hole, you really have to get through a lot of narrow tree shots.
Yeah, I agree with that. Either an excellent drive or bordering on a throw-in.
And this is still significantly downhill to the hole, so you notice everybody that's throwing, they're trying to keep the disc low so that it doesn't glide past the basket into the rough.
Yeah, if you go past that basket by, what is it, about 30 feet, circle's edge, backside, and it is straight downhill.
There's a lot of briars on that hill.
You speak like it's from experience. Oh. That was looking good. If I could have held that line just a little longer. And that would have been a birdie to right home about 100%. Looks like
And you can see he's standing in the edge of the rough right there. Especially with shorts on, that could be a really difficult position. Definitely not happy with that putt.
yeah, brings the par comebacker just a little bit short. See if Sam can clean up his par here. Or no, yeah, that was for bogey. Never mind. Good confident putt, though. Right dead center. Quick cleanup for Johnny. We'll move on to hole 3. Alright, hole 3. We're going to be throwing from kind of this upper side of this slope. But it's going to be another one of those just straight ahead of you. You got plenty of open airspace with danger to the left and right. Got the OB road up to the left if you air something out. Don't commit to the turnover. But you've got a ton of natural OB down to the right-hand side.
And this is exactly like hole 18, just opposite wind value.
Yeah.
Great safe shot for Johnny right there. That should line him up for a...
Plants it in the middle.
I tried, it just don't go. It just don't go like it used to.
Distance has never been Johnny's strong suit, and he'll say that. You know, he's pretty open with it. His approach and his putting is where he catches almost everyone. But a couple of these young guns here should be able to absolutely cook this hole.
Large flare skip there actually took him maybe to the outside edge of circle on that left side.
Yeah. I think he's going to be out toward circle 2. It's that flare took him a ways left. Sam.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I like that.
I like that one. That's pretty.
Yeah, Johnny's
Much
saying it
less
best.
of a skip there.
Yeah, he actually got that one to flip up and kind of carry straight, so when it finally hit the ground, it sat nice and soft.
It's danger for a lefty here.
Yep. I think we're going to see it. Stop.
Oh, no!
Ugh.
Oh, it did hit a tree. It smacked a tree.
I believe I just heard him say it did hit a tree before it went in the woods there, which is a saving grace on this hole, is to have enough trees on that right side.
You know, whether he'll slope.
Little scuba approach there from Johnny. Kind of odd to see that. I don't know if he was not trusting some of the stuff when it lands. Possibly. See Ryan's head down there.
All right, Ryan.
So yeah, he didn't end up too far down there, just below that shelf, which isn't bad. It's going to net you the par. You want to pick up the birdie here, but par's not terrible. Ooh.
I'm glad he drew metal on that one, because the rollaway putting straight downhill at that basket's pretty rough.
He's been feeling confident with the putt, though. I like it.
Great putt. Right in the heart.
Yep. Love that.
One would even say the heart of the chains.
Oh, God.
Every once in a while, you got to throw a dad joke in. Come on. All right.
Little high right, but it stuck. No pictures on the scorecard. Take your par and get out of there. So, all right, only 2 birdies on the day came from Sam and then Evan Jarvis, who we spoke about a little bit in the front half. He's been putting together a round as well.
Coming into hole 4. This one tightens up significantly after you get about 150 feet down the fairway. And that is a steep left to right slope with OB Road and beyond to the left and jail to the right.
Yeah, that OB road sneaks up on you too. Especially trying to absolutely pin this basket.
Yeah, any flare skip will take you directly to the road.
Yeah. Now, if you have the arm of the superhumans, so to speak, you can just go up and over on a Spikeiser line, but that is like top 1% of power players. I've only seen it done.
That's that Coriolis power.
Yeah. He's honestly the only person I've ever seen actually do it. I've tried it and come close, but it is just so far. Johnny looks like
that eagle again?
Yep. And he knows his distances. He knows if he just puts it out there flat, it's going to start fading before it hits those trees. So he can play with all of that space to the right-hand side before the bottleneck. And you hear the wind starting to pick back up a little bit. Oh, the trust.
Oh, the slope of
That
that when it
was-
hit was an amazing skip.
Ooh, the amount of trust he had. He threw that like he was throwing a whole fives tee pad on a lot of hyzer. Lefty advantage here. Just gets to play with all that airspace. Looks like he's throwing that destroyer again.
Good throw. Good throw, Ryan.
He lands it right between the basket and the road on the grass, and it just nestles.
That was
Great shot. About 70 feet here. A little uphill.
And that's the danger that we were talking about. That basket is only about, what, 12 feet from the road? Maybe
If that.
15?
He said he was trying to throw that in.
Well, of course he was. It was Johnny Sias.
Sam here trying the long bid. You can ring another one up. Got metal.
And again, if you're throwing towards that road, it's in your head. Like if I pass this basket, I'm in danger.
Good birdie there from Ian.
That was a remarkable skip off that left side hill to get that anti-skip towards
Oh,
the
yeah.
hole.
Yeah, you hit that with hyzer, it's going to kind of funnel you back. I missed the long pin position here, back in that little cove that you can see back to the right. But I think that hillside's slipping away a little bit. Footing down there is treacherous anymore. Ryan Shumate with the park job. So it looks like those were 2 of the 3 birdies on the day, with Thaddeus bringing in the 3rd. And we will pop right over to hole 5. We're going to be playing right on this ridge line that we seen a little bit with hole 16 earlier. We're just playing right on the other side of it. So,
And this is actually in the lower pin position,
yeah.
which brings the hillside towards the road way more into play than the higher pin position.
Oh, yeah. So you have dealer's choice here, left or right. Just get around that big tree in the middle. It has a lot of those little fingerling branches that like to grab stuff and knock it down.
Looks like he took a flare skip over to the other pin position.
He's been getting a lot of those today. Ian tends to throw some more overstable stuff, so he's going to get a little more of them skips. Now this I'm surprised. We've been seeing Ryan throw that blue destroyer on those really nice lefty backhand hyzers, and I feel as though that shaped perfectly for this.
I wonder if the shape of that hill kind of got into his head a little bit. Because any type of flare skip on that one is
Yeah.
definitely going to go over there.
Gravity will definitely pull you down. Looks like you're trying to get a spot on the distance here.
Thank you, Greg Ellis, for the distance.
So a little inside. And that seems to be the miss that most people do, is they bring it too inside. They don't want to test that road and the tree line out on the right over the road. Because if you catch one of those, you're out of bounds. It's going to drop you straight down.
I made the mistake of throwing something a little understable here and actually went long over the road to the right.
Ooh.
And it just dropped straight off.
They got homework for you.
Johnny with his eagle again. I don't think he wants to play with the flip that strike is going to have. So he's going to be pretty content just taking a 3 here. Nice
And
high
it's hard to
floaty.
tell. That tree on the right actually comes into play approaching this basket from that right side like that.
It does, but I also think that kind of high floaty shot is probably the way to go to get it way away from those tree branches. You'll bring him into play, taking that more direct line, but Ryan's got the touch on that forehand. It's no issue.
Didn't want to play with that downhill at all. He kept it really low. Just scooted right there by the basket.
Yep, very smart play. Johnny with our only true look at a birdie.
Bottom of the cage.
Looks like the wind just kind of dropped that out a little bit, about halfway there.
And again, you're on this hilltop, and you don't really appreciate how high you are on this hilltop
Yeah.
Until you're over on the Indian Rock course and you look this way and see how much higher the
yeah.
elevation is here. So the wind is swirling around this hilltop the entire time.
Yeah, this hill is about the second highest place on the course. I think only behind like hole 2's tee pad.
Yeah, hole 2 and hole 17.
Yeah. And which 17 was just right up above hole 5's tee. So it looks like we got the good old par frame there. And Thaddeus, Mr. Sandball, bringing in the only birdie. Just not bad. Hole 6, 351-foot par 3, averaging right on par. You're going to be throwing downhill at this precariously perched basket placement. It is 3 feet from just the start of a steep drop-off. And this long tee kind of makes you throw straight at that ridge line. It's tough to get there.
Yeah, those right side trees want to just grab you and drop you on that slope and make it roll down to the road.
All those branches.
How did I know? How did it?
I feel like the lefty might have an advantage on this hole, being able to use that airspace out to the left.
Yeah, lefty or big forehand. That is a big forehand. It says 351. I'd say it's probably pretty accurate. I think it's a little longer, but it's also downhill. Okay, that had some flip to it. I was initially kind of worried, but yeah, he's playing to the safe side of the green, but that's going to be a really nerve-wracking putt.
I really like this hole, looking over that little, it's kind of a mountain bike obstacle course.
Yeah, I love it. For all the locals, they know there's a pin placement behind that big angled wall, which is just a delight. It's really, really cool to see. Makes for very tricky and challenging approaches. Which I think it's going to make for a tricky and challenging approach for this pin placement if you land on the other side of it.
I didn't expect that forehand to turn over that much, but
Looked to have about the same shape that he did on hole 1, when it just came over a little bit and just took and rode. Looks like eagle again for Johnny. Throwing it with some intentional anhyzer there, and stability's gonna kick in, sending him way safe out left.
this is definitely a position you don't want to try and go for it. You want to try and just nestle up right by the pin and just take your par on this hole.
Yeah, but it looks like he kind of just nose up that and
Just stop
died.
short.
Yeah, just floated it and let it die.
I can't see the angle, so I don't know how much how much danger that wall is for him.
I think he's actually on the other side of the wall. Yeah, he was plenty to the far side, so it didn't really come into play. Nestles up the approach there. Ooh, he ended up down the hill. Oh, wow.
Yeah, between elevation and wind, this could be one of the one of the hardest holes in that pin placement.
Johnny lining up his par putt. Looked to be right at or just outside circle 1.
That is definitely a relief on this hole to catch metal for sure.
Oh yeah. You can hear him taking a breath there. That's a nervy putt no matter who you are.
Nerves got him. He just didn't want to put too much behind it.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I don't think you can really appreciate just how much that drops off behind that basket looking at it from that left side. All pars across the field. No separation at all on this hole.
Just a small walk down to hole 7.
Diabolical.
You can see it says 281 feet, but it's, I don't know, the widest gap is probably 8 feet all the way down
I had
through
to
here.
take my time flying the drone through this. I was nervous just doing that. I was walking behind it the whole time.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those holes that's designed to create frustration. In this pin placement, you have a few more options if you can get out and get that to roll left. You see that roller right there, and even a roller, even though you're slimming the actual disc flying through the trees, it's still treacherous to try and get down through there.
Lefty forehand, dude. I keep saying it.
He's got a good forehand, so yeah.
Yeah, normally this basket placement is always down in that bowl straight away, but it got moved for the tournament, so it's off in the left placement and chip forehand and pinball. It's just this is a tough hole. There's not a lot you can do here.
And the pin placement being to the left definitely opens up that forehand roller shot for the right-handed guys.
All
I
right,
think
so
he
we
turned
have
that one over a little much.
I actually think he was going scoop
That was good.
or like tomahawk
I
there.
think pretty good.
I think he was trying for the tomahawk. He was trying to get really over on it. So we've seen roller, overhand, backhand, and forehand.
And those trees right there that he hit,
And-
those are the primary guardians.
Yeah.
You can see from the corrugated protection on them to keep from killing the trees.
Chop forehand roller
That's so good.
and curls all the way out and around.
And again, this course, like it's sloped baskets, is the name of this course. And I think that forehand right there, where it just kind of is gonna curl regardless of what you do, is the only way to approach this basket.
See another overhand. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna give him a look.
And this is a dangerous position because if you put it out in the air and it comes down on edge, that thing slopes away to the right pretty hard.
Yeah, Ryan actually having one of the better looks of the group. So I think he was out further than Ian, but Ian's got a little pinched angle here.
It was a fantastic little
Yeah,
Anheuser
that
drop
was
shot.
Great. Really long bid here.
What?
Smashes it.
He is that putter. That putter's been on today.
It's out.
Johnny's starting to walk it off.
About 42 feet, 45 feet downhill.
It's a real specific call there. Exactly 42 feet.
It's probably about an 8-foot drop from where he is to the
Oh,
basket.
yeah. Expect to see that little stepper.
Oh, what a catch.
Oh, it did stop though. That's fantastic that it stopped.
And that would have been to secure the win. So now pressure shifts to Ryan. About 15 foot, cans it. Keep him at 3. Johnny is unfortunately going to drop back to 3 at the end of regulation. Which means
Playoff.
we get bonus disc golf.
Bonus holes. Yay!
We're going to extra innings, folks. All right, let's take a quick recap here from regulation. Ryan posting the hot score, -1 over on Rotary Longs to bring him back to a tie for first with Mr. Sias. It's like Ian and Sam both shot +1 there, along with Evan, but that +1 bumped him up a lot. So it's gonna round out our top 7 there.
Man, that one stroke of Johnny's. That's
one.
always how it ends up, doesn't it?
That one, and he wanted it and just left it a touch high. Now I will say he was lucky to catch the crown of the basket and just stop, because if that skips and goes off, it's gone.
Yeah.
So now we have our 2 vying for first. And we are just going to start right back where we started the round at, back here on hole 8.
Hole 8 also has a tricky wind feel to it. You feel like something that's just going to stay straight will be fine. But that downhill, if you don't get just a little bit of understability in it, that downhill is definitely going to make it pull left and fade for a right-hander.
Yep.
And again, this long pin position definitely pinches off your ability to swing the disc like you'd want to get it to come crashing in at the basket.
Yeah. I mean, you can go way left. That's going to take a ton of movement to get back to the right.
A little bit of an early release on Heiser. That's going to tie him up in those trees on the right side.
Yeah.
Looks... Yeah. So, is this going to be a strike again? Probably. I think so.
Go.
It's asking for it to come up.
Yeah, that's putting for sure.
Oh.
Well, I like to have it about 3
That's
inches
putting
higher.
a lot of pressure right off the rip on Ryan to make a... He didn't end up down the hill.
Man, what a good placement for the way that drive was going. All right, nestled up. All Johnny's got to do is make this putt.
And he ended up a little shorter than what I thought he did.
What, 40 feet? Oh, right off the front
That's
of the cage.
2 in a row. 2 putts on 2 holes straight in a row. The one last in regulation, then the first playoff hole could have sealed it. Just high on the first one, just low on the second.
And it's a push. Going to
Yep.
the next hole.
Rolling into the next one. Roll back over to 9.
Hole 9 has this uphill slope to it. Even though it says 274, it feels like a 350-foot hole when you're throwing that slight uphill grade. And again, it gets tight down through there, and that right side is just trees trying to suck your disc down over the hill.
Yep. See if Ryan can match his efforts from earlier. He did birdie it during the round, and it looks like he is going to be lining himself up excellently again. Now, I have to say, just from watching the two, you have to think that these first 3 playoff holes advantage Ryan.
I feel like if you have the power that Ryan has, definitely advantage Ryan. This one and hole 10 have that left hand kind of domination
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Sounds like some kids down there having some fun in the playground right below us.
Normally, I would say this would make you really nervous on a putt in a playoff, but knowing who's making this putt, he's going to stay with the same routine he's had for, we won't say how long. And
Ooh.
it bounces off the cage.
All right.
That's why he's a 5-time world champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's push to hole 10.
Yeah. You heard Greg there. That's why he's a 5-time major champion. That's why he is a 5-time world champion. Right there. All right. Let's hop back over to the big boy, hole 10. We'll fly it again just in case you forgot. Now, we seen all... I do believe both of them took... Let me get the scores pulled back up from earlier.
And this hole it's a dramatic difference from the short tee to the long on here. I believe it adds somewhere around 170 feet.
Yeah, easily. Almost 200. It's a lot.
And this is the long pin position as well.
Yeah. I believe they both took bogey on this. We'll see here in a second. It should pop up. But we're also going to see the same... Yep. Previous took bogey. We're going to be seeing that same blue destroyer. See if he can keep it up on top of the hill this time.
We were talking about the advantage going to somebody who can put some power and distance into his throw. This is an 814-foot hole.
Now that's down by the short tee, but that might be pinched off right.
But he is a lefty, so
As long as he has enough room to make that swing through, he should be all right. And very similar result from earlier in the round with Johnny.
it seemed like he caught a little bit of a tree branch sticking out there and just kind of
Yeah.
dropped him down quick.
Probably the same tree. It looks like he's in the exact same spot. So he should at least be familiar with where he's at. And I'm still saying advantage Ryan right now. Looks like that
Yeah,
yellow
he
shrike.
turned that shrike a lot more that time, seeing if he can get out around those trees.
Yeah, so he's going to nestle up there, put himself in position to make one more good shot and take his par. Now, here's the...
Oh,
That's
no.
what I was worried about.
So he got one of those skips again and put him right.
Yeah.
Just takes away so much power.
Now, advantage lefty, he can still have that reach out with that lefty forehand. And we've seen he's very proficient with this shot. It looks like he just left it
no.
low and straight down.
Terrible, terrible edge there.
Unintentional thrower. Now Johnny's got 310, 320-ish to the pin, right? Maybe a little further.
I think his first one went 220 or so. The second one got a full flight, probably about 320, 330.
Yeah.
So he's somewhere in that 300 range.
Yeah, just sticking with that big Anheuser again. And he left himself with a look. So he's up on the green. Pressure on.
Man, that tree
Nailed the gap.
really scared me.
Little short side, but a putt. Should be... Oh, okay. Johnny's a little shorter than I thought it was. Looks like he's throwing that 0. He had to have been trying to throw that in. He wants to end it. He doesn't want to climb this hill again.
Oh, just a little too much hyzer angle on the putt, and it drops out early.
Now it was on Ryan to seal it with a putt. Unfortunately, did not fall.
I believe that's a multifloral rose bush he's
Yeah.
straddling right there.
Big briar bush. Trying to find some good footing in. Caught his hand. Yep. Clipped it. You can see in the background we got some people who finished up their round coming through to watch the bonus. Evan Jarvis, one of the hot round shooters, or well, close to it this round, even coming by to take a peek.
And this will, again, the camera angle doesn't really justify all those little dips and coves that get you to this hole, and the amount of roots around this basket that have a tendency to kick your disc up.
Yeah. And now, I'm going to say it. Advantage flipped.
Good throw. Good throw.
Even though he just laced that. Little fist bump there. He's pumped about that. Yeah, I'm saying now advantage Johnny. Johnny is like the little woods wizard here.
Well, if you've ever heard of Crazy 8,
Oh yeah,
that is definitely-
he's at home right now.
he almost went off the box there.
Looks like that Shrike getting that left to right movement, and
Fantastic shot.
2 phenomenal shots right there. And it looks like they both, no, Ryan actually parred this first time through, and Johnny bogeyed it. So, Let's see if Ryan can put it away here. Johnny taking a look at the background, seeing what he's got. You can see Ryan's disc up there.
There's a lot of Guardians around this basket.
Yeah. So Johnny with a 0 again, and puts it down and gets out the AVR. Is he gonna go overhand? Yep. Just finds a little keyhole up there, slots it in, and this is for the win right here. We've seen him drop a few of these today.
I like that Johnny goes to that
little
scuba shot, just to slide his disc where he wants it.
See Ryan really taking
Kind
his time here.
of force the pressure on Ryan here.
Let's take another look real quick.
Honestly, I thought there were expletives deleted there.
It came out so good. He knows it. Fist pump. Arm was just in the way. It caught heavy, strong side chains and fell just barely off. He thought he had it. I thought he had it. Johnny was getting ready to start congratulating him.
And
instead,
hole 12.
let's go some more. 5th extra hole.
That just proves the resilience and the tenacity of these MPO players.
Yeah.
Just fighting for everything they're worth to get these holes back for each other.
And here's where we're going to see a major advantage shift with Ryan earlier bogeying this hole and Johnny picking up the birdie. Looks good. Maybe a little short.
Putting at it. Putting.
And this one actually, compared to some of the other holes, this one actually has less of a height change from the height or the long tee.
Yeah, from tee to basket.
Yeah, the long tee is about 10 feet higher than the short tee on this one.
Yeah. Kind of puts you on the same level as the basket. There's just that big valley. Johnny with the little whip there. Yep, already hear some people in the background calling it parked, and I don't quite think it's parked, but it's close.
I don't know if you can throw that hole much better than that. That was the perfect
That was
line.
really good. And look, they're right beside each other. But Ryan's just a little off. Got some stuff to deal with. Going back to the straddle. He brought it back online with it, right where it needed, just touch short. All right. And Johnny to seal it, got the AVR in the hand. Little jumper.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner.
5 extra holes in. So, these two here played 42 holes today through an absolute spectrum of weather. And we had everything from rain. It was almost snowing earlier. It was cold, warm. Sun peeked out for a little bit.
Yeah, wind off and on all day, depending on which hole you were on.
Yeah, that's gonna be it after the playoff win. Mr. Johnny Sias taking it down.
It's truly a privilege to be able to watch these guys play and to be able to have this dogfight, all the way through, back and
great.
forth.
Yeah, that was good. That was a really solid home stretch and then some excellent playoff golf. So.
Yeah, with Johnny Sias taking the lead, Shumate coming in at just a narrow second after a dogfight of a finish. Ian, great play, put you in 3rd place. What a round of disc golf at Rotary Park.
Yeah, I loved it. That was great. Absolute pleasure getting out and getting this shot, and looking forward to getting some more coverage out for you guys.
Y'all get out and throw. Enjoy the game.
Yeah. All right, guys. For myself and Evan, we'll catch you guys on the next one.